What's up you guys, Alex here. Today we're going to be talking about the very popular sidewall squash drill. For those who don't know what the sidewall drill is, essentially instead of, hitting the front wall in squash like you normally would, you're going to be using the side walls. You guys will see the drill soon. I got some footage of me doing it on court and it's a bit easier to understand once you actually see it in action. Okay, so before we get into that, let's just talk about some of the things that I like about the drill, because for me it's one of the most foundational, standard warm-up drills that I like to do. First off, what I really like is that it's a very versatile drill, so you can do it with a partner or you can do it, solo by yourself. But you can also choose an aspect to work on your game, whether it's just forehand, backhand, or you want to work on both. Besides just for warm-ups, the drill I find is really good for getting your feet moving and for working on your backhand and your forehand technique. Secondly, again, with regards to its versatility, it's a drill that can be done for all levels, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Especially if you're new to the sport and you're just kind of getting the grasp of things and you're a beginner, I would recommend hitting the ball really high to start out, just to give you a bit more time between the rallies. Lastly, as I said earlier, it helps me focus on the fundamentals of squash. So for me, when I do the drill, I focus on my spacing between me and the ball, keeping my feet moving, and the accuracy of my shots, and most importantly for me is getting my racket up between the rallies, having good racket prep. So again, this is one of those drills that I try to do as often as I can when I solo hit, and especially for those looking to touch up their technical side and their foundational skills, I would definitely recommend this drill. Okay, so let's get into the footage now. So I usually start with the forehand side. Maybe if your backhand is a bit weaker, start with that side every time. You just want to make sure that you're training both sides at the same intensity, and a lot of people tend to favor the side that they're better at. But it's not really a big deal as long as you end up doing both sides. So as you guys can tell in the video, I'm hitting the ball so that it goes from one side wall to the other. Now, when I first get on court, I like to use the service line as a reference point when I'm aiming. If you're a beginner, you may want to just focus on hitting the ball a lot higher, like I am in the first video, then adding the reference point of the ball hitting the service line every time after you're not really worried about hitting the ball in general. So then once you have that, you do the same for the backhand. Again, I'm starting off higher here, a bit easier, just get used to the drill. Then the next step is adding some pace on the ball. As you can see in the next video, I'm hitting it a bit harder, still aiming for the service line, and really focusing on where the ball is landing on court. Then you do the same for the backhand, add a bit more pace, and again, aiming for the service line every time. So another thing you can add in this drill is alternating between your forehand and backhand. As you can see in the video, I'm still aiming for that service line, but I'm not just doing continuous forehands or continuous backhands, I'm alternating every time. So going back to my points before, I like to focus on good racket prep, having my racket up for every shot almost immediately as it hits the wall, and also moving my feet so that my spacing is really good between the ball. I wouldn't really start aiming for the service line unless you're getting those first steps of getting your racket prepared and moving your feet every time in a set position first. So moving on a bit, I personally like to use the service line as a guide, but you can also modify the drill further using the box as a reference point. This makes it a bit less strict as a target, but it also allows you to focus on a different target, and especially if you want to focus on adding some pace to your shots while having them land in a certain area, it's a really effective drill. So another thing I like about this drill, as I stated earlier, is that you can do it with a partner. So if you grab a partner, have him or her stand directly opposite from you so that they're facing you, and they would be hitting the opposite wall from you are using either the backhand or forehand side, whatever you want to start with. So if you're hitting on the forehand side, one person would aim for one box and the other would use their forehand aiming for the other box. That's assuming they're both right-handed players, of course. And then you just repeat with the backhand. So another aspect you can add to the drill to make it a bit more fun is by turning the drill into a little game by pretending that the box is a court. So both you and your partner are aiming for the box and you're trying to win points against each other if it double bounces, and kind of play a game up to 11. Alright, that's about it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, the sidewall drills is one of those foundational drills that I really recommend doing, whether it be by yourself or with a partner. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.